Hello, and welcome to the DoDEA Fall Semester Reporting webinar. Thank you for taking time to join us today as we're going to walk step by step through how to complete your fall semester report in the new DoDEA eTech website. I'm Sarah Brightwell. I'm the Deputy Program Manager for the DoDEA Evaluation Technical Assistance Center, and I'll be working with you as you go throughout this reporting process and also sharing with you a number of resources that we have available outside of this webinar to help you throughout the reporting season. As we get going, we're first going to start with a bit of a preview of the new eTech website. This just rolled out. If you have not had an opportunity to check out the new website, I encourage you to start there. Make sure that you're able to log in, make sure that you're able to access everything that you need to be able to complete your reporting for the fall semester. One big change that you'll note when you see the new website is that instead of logging in with your old username like you used to on the older website, you're now going to be logging in with your email address. If you were a user on the old website, you should have gotten an email that let you reset your password, but sometimes those don't come through. Maybe it got stuck in junk or spam. You can still go to the website right up at the top where you see my initials currently. You can hit login and it will allow you to click forgot your password. Just remember that your username is your email address. That will let you reset the password and gain access to the site. If you have any trouble taking care of that and getting logged into the new site, you can always visit us over at the contact area, which is available on the public facing page. There you can access the email, phone number, there's a contact form, and there's even down in the bottom right corner, you'll see a little talk bubble. That's our chat bot. You can also reach us there between 9 and 3 Eastern, Monday through Friday, and we can help you that way. Once you're logged in, you'll see that the new site contains all of the things that you had in the old site to be able to complete programmatic reporting, financial reporting, receive technical assistance, as well as a number of new features. So I encourage you to explore that, and we'll be holding some events throughout the spring to help show you all the different things that are now available in the new website. But today, I'm going to focus on how you're going to use the website to complete your fall semester report. It is still the same web address that you're used to using. So now when you click that exact same web address that you probably had bookmarked before, it's just going to open up to our new website where you'll be able to see this great new photo of JDP with students from the International Leadership School of Texas. The next thing that's a little bit different in the new site is that we do have some new roles for the website. In the old site, we only had a couple of different types of roles, whereas with this new site, we've been able to define these a bit more. So for grantees, there are 4 different roles that you can assign members of your team. You can be the project director, the finance contact, the evaluator, or a team member. And you'll notice they all have the disco finger because we're going to have a good time with reporting today. So the project director, if you are assigned the role of project director in the website, you will have basically super admin access to everything for your grant. You'll have full access to reporting. You can view previous reports. You can edit reports. You can submit them. You can do anything. Same with finance. You can view, edit, and submit finance documents. And then also in the community and learn sections of the website, you'll have full access to those as well. If you are assigned the finance role within your team, you will be able to see the reporting, but you will not be able to edit or submit any of the programmatic reports. Now, in the finance section, you will be able to view, edit, and submit any of the finance forms. So those SF-424s, 425s, and 428s. Remember that the quarterly invoicing will still take place through the WAF system, which is a separate website with a separate login. And as the finance person, you will also have full access to the community and learn sections. If you are the evaluator, then when you log in, you'll be able to see everything in reporting. You just won't be able to edit or submit. And it is a live view. So even if your project director is sitting in one office adding content and you're in the other, you'll be able to see those updates in there. You will not be able to see the finance area of the grant, but you will have access fully to the community and learn. And then finally, the role that is particularly new within this site is the team member role. So many grantees have other folks on your team that take part collaboratively in providing the programming, in planning, in doing the reporting. So now we have a way to allow them access to all the same things, but in a view-only role. So as a team member, you can view everything in reporting and everything in finance. You just can't edit or submit those documents. You also have full access to the community and learn sections of the website. Now, one question that is commonly asked is, can I assign multiple people to one of these roles? So for project director, finance, and evaluator, only one individual can be assigned to that specific role. Particularly with project director, we can only have one project director of record. We don't have a way to account for co-directors or that type of situation. Those other individuals would need to have the team member roles. However, the team member role, there is no limit to how many people you can have in that role on your particular grant. We do know that this is an area of interest and that there are a lot of thoughts on having the different roles and who should have access to these roles. That is something that we and the DoDEA program team are continuing to explore and will provide updates on in the future. If, when you log in, you realize maybe I don't have the right access, maybe I need that to be different, please reach out to us at the help desk and we'll be able to fix any access issues that you may be having. Additionally, you can, with this new system, have one type of access for one of your grants and a different level of access for another. So for example, if you are project director for 2 of your district's grants, but the third one you are not project director for, but you do need to be able to work collaboratively with that project director, we can assign you in the system to be project director for, say, the 21 and 24 grant, and then team member for the 23 grant. So we can winnow it out that way so that you're still able to see everything and work collaboratively. Now I want to share a bit about how the reporting flows. Now, really nothing has changed in how the reporting flows. What we've changed is what's contained a bit in each of the reports to ensure that this flow really works well. And so I want to make sure that everyone kind of understands how that flow works. So you'll see each row is 1 year of your program, of your 5-year program. So you start out with that fall semester report, then your spring semester report, and your annual report really is taking the contents from those 2 reports, putting it all together and looking back reflectively across the full grant year. And what we want to ensure, and we've made some changes to the reporting format to try to help ensure, is that all of these build cumulatively throughout the year to paint a picture of your program and your progress and the things that you're accomplishing with your grant. So then you'll see it happens each year, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. In year 5, you'll complete that fall semester report. And because you will wrap the actual implementation of your project at the end of May, you'll just complete that fall semester report and then move into your final closeout report, which you can see should be encompassing all 5 years of your grant project and really wrapping everything up. So how did we change what's contained in these reports? So we're looking today at the semester report, but I'm going to show you both the semester and annual and what we're now focusing on within each of these. So for the semester report, you'll see today that we're going to really focus in on what activities actually took place during this semester, what challenges, if any, did you encounter, and what professional learning occurred. Whereas with the annual report, We're going to be focusing in on the strategies that you used to move forward with your grant goals, the outcomes that you experienced, as well as professional learning. The other difference between the two really hasn't changed, but I want to highlight that in the semester report, you have the option to include as many documents as you like that would add to the picture of the progress of your program across this semester. But there are not any required documents for the semester report. If your evaluator happens to provide an interim report, attach it. If you were featured in a local news article, put that in. If you have a really cool slideshow of things that happened in your program this semester, put that in there. You can attach as many or as few documents as you like that add to that story that you're painting in your report. I do encourage, as much as possible, try to attach those as PDF documents. They have a tendency to upload better and quicker. The other thing that I think is really great with using the PDF instead of, say, a Word or Excel file is that the PDF preserves exactly what you want that document to look like. If I open up a Word document from you on my computer, do I have the same version of Word that you do? Do I have the same default settings? That document could look significantly different for me than it did for you. Whereas if I open your document as a PDF, you know that I'm seeing what you saw and what you wanted me to see. There also is not a specific upload limit, so you can upload those bulkier picture or video files if that's something that you want. I often find it's a little easier to just include a link if you're trying to include a video. So just another thing that sometimes will make your things upload just a little faster and make it easier for your viewer to then take those in. Now, in the annual report, there is a required attachment. You can then attach in those other documents that you might want to, but the required attachment for the annual report is the evaluation report that's been prepared by your grant evaluator. So semester, no required attachments, but you can. Annual, required to attach that evaluation report prepared by your evaluator, as well as any other documents that you would like. Now, before we jump into our step-by-step walkthrough of reporting, I do want to go over just a few general tips that we find really useful for grant reporting preparation. So start early. Your reporting deadline is January 31st by midnight. Please don't start on January 30th. That does not give you any window of time to make adjustments. If you run into a hiccup, maybe you realize there's a data point that I need to go ask someone about, or I need to check on this thing, or I thought I had access, but now it didn't log me in. You never know what might happen. Don't put yourself into that time crunch. Start early. The system will let you go in and you can work on this in little digestible chunks. You can log in, do a little bit of the report, save it, come back, save it, come back. So you can make it work with your schedule, but please, please, please try to start early and submit early. The next three kind of all work together. We really encourage you to write in complete sentences and spell out acronyms at least the first time that you use them in your report. We work in education. We love a good acronym, but what the acronym means in one district versus another, or one state versus another, can often differ. So what that acronym means to you may not be what the acronym means to your reader. And we're also all guilty of thinking, this totally makes sense to me in maybe a short little blurb. But remember that the people reading your project are not always going to be people that are intimately familiar with your grant project. Yes, the DoDEA program team is reading it, but also members of ETAC. You can have other external readers that may be taking in your report contents that just don't know the ins and outs of your program. So write out those complete thoughts in complete sentences, spell out those acronyms. You can copy and paste from another document, which is often handy when you're trying to kind of put together your thoughts. And really keeping in mind, think about someone just off the street picking this up and reading about your program. And finally, be transparent. This is not a gotcha situation. This is so that we can know what's going on in your program and how to best support you on your grant implementation journey. So tell us what's really happening. And then just one more reminder that you do have that report due on Saturday, January 31st. So the reporting deadline this year does fall on a Saturday. It's still the reporting deadline. That doesn't mean you get to wait until Monday the 2nd. It is really due the 31st of January, which means likely you're going to want to turn that in at least by Friday so that you can preserve your weekend. Also remember that it is due by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So it does not matter what time zone you're in. The report is due on Eastern time. So if you're in Central, you're going to have to get it in by 11. If you're in Mountain, you have to get it in by 10. Just keep backing it up and make sure that you're in compliance and meeting that grant reporting deadline. We also want to make sure that you're reporting on the time period that is appropriate for the fall semester report. So the fall semester reporting covers August 1st to December 31st each year. If your school district starts a little before that, here where I live, they start school in July. That's fine, but my grant reporting still starts August 1st for this report. Maybe yours doesn't start until after Labor Day. That's fine. You may have done some grant activities prior to the first day of school or not, but still, just know that that is the window upon which you are conducting your reporting, August 1 to December 31. If you're a first-year grantee, if you're one of our new 2025 grantees, you can't start your reporting until you're a grantee and know you're a grantee. So your year starts on September 30th. So in year one, the fall semester runs September 30 to December 31. Just different in that first year. And with that, we're going to hop right into the actual reporting form and go step by step through the reporting process. I'll encourage you that remember, this is a recording. So you can start and stop this. If you want to pull open the website on your own and kind of click along as we go, feel free to go ahead and pause, get that website open and follow along in your other screen or on another device. All right, so we should be looking together at the website now. This is the new website. I am logged in. If you have not logged in just yet, you'll click up here on the login button and get yourself logged in. And to start our reporting, we're going to head over to this reporting button in the top navigation menu. You'll see when it opens up into the reporting dashboard, you have three options. You can look at your reporting profiles. You can look at your semester reports, and you can look at your financial reports. Today, we're going to focus in on those semester reports. All right, once you open up and are able to see into the semester report area, you're going to see a list of the grants that you're associated with. That could be just one grant. It may be multiple. If you are an evaluator for multiple school districts, it may be a rather lengthy list. You're going to navigate down and locate the grant that you would like to work on the semester report for right now. If you do have a rather lengthy list, you can also search here and just pull up the specific grant that you would like by year or name. So I'm going to go into our demonstration grantee. Once I hit view there, you'll see I can now see any semester reports that have been submitted through this new system, which means that you are going to see no reports because this is a brand new system and you don't have any reports in here. I only have reports in here because it's our demo grantee and we had to play with the system and put demo reports in to test it. You will see nothing, and that is okay. Each time that you submit a new report in this system, it's going to start populating here. But wait, you're a year 3 or 4 grantee. You have lots of reports that you've done before, and you would like to reference them as you're writing this new report. No worries. We still have them here for you, but because the formatting has changed, it didn't work to be able to put it into this spot. Instead, up in your top navigation menu, you're going to see an option for archived reports. If you click there, then it's going to open up and you can pull up your archive semester, annual closeout, or various financial documents. Again, I have a ton of options because I can see most all of you. You're just going to be seeing the grants that you are associated with. But again, if that's multiple grants or multiple grantees, you can winnow that down through the search functions at the top of the screen. Just make sure that you have selected from the left-hand navigation the type of report that you would like to pull up. And you'll know that you're in the right spot because the title at the top will change. So if I'm trying to find an annual report versus an old SF424 versus a semester report, and you'll be able to pull up that report from right here. Please note that the print functionality right now is experiencing a little hiccup. We will have that back online for you early next week, and I'll send a notification out if you're watching this before then to let you know when that's back up and running. But you can view these online. You can also use your browser print functionality right now, and the pop-out print functionality will be back online shortly. All right, I'm going to go back to where I was before in my semester reporting. And I've got my various ones. Since you have not started a report before and will have nothing listed here, you're going to use this new report button located in the top right here to create your brand new fall semester report. You'll select reporting period, and because you haven't started your fall report yet, you'll have the option for fall 2025 and no other options. You'll collect that reporting period and then hit create report. And that will open the reporting template for you. I'm going to pop back and just select my existing one. This is also what you'll do when you're going back and forth. If you're saving and coming back to work on it, then you'll come in and hit edit each time. So this will open up my reporting form. You'll note definitely looks a little different than the old system. You're going to see this blue banner at the top of each of your reporting screens, just as a reminder of what you're reporting on. It will have your grantee name, what this current reporting period is that you're working on, and the time frame, that August 1 to December 31 time frame, located at the top of each screen. As you navigate through the screens, any directions that might be helpful for that particular reporting screen will be here at the top. So you'll see in this first home page, we have some just general tips on navigating through the reporting portal, as well as directions on what to complete in this screen. Also note there is a left-hand navigation. You can use either one. So you can navigate through this report through the left-hand navigation or through the next button in the bottom right of each screen. I personally like using the bottom right because it helps me make sure that I've gone fully through that screen and addressed anything I need to, but know that it will work either navigation method. So when I get down into the content of this reporting screen, note that everything here in this first block of content is pulling from your grantee profile, which pulled from your previous proposal. So things like your target schools and target school enrollment, those are not updated on an annual basis. Those are from your original grant proposal. So if for any reason you feel that that information is incorrect and not from your original grant proposal, please reach out and let us know so we can make corrections for you. This information at the top is straight from your profile. This information here for contacts should be filled in But it is possible, as we see in every reporting season, that you might have had some changes in those key contacts. If so, you can hit Edit Contacts here, put in the new information. So let's say my finance person, new financial contact. So I update that. And then I'll save it. You'll see that it's changed it here. If you were to go look at your profile though, you'll notice it will not update it in the profile until you submit the report. That way it kind of just makes sure that that's who you really want to submit in that role. So once you submit your semester report, any edits you've made in contacts will be reflected in your grantee profile. It will also send a notification to our team so that we can update contact records and reach out if any other information is needed on that change. As you move down, the next block of content is in regards to your goals. If you have one grant goal, you should see one grant goal in the screen. If you have two grant goals, you should see two. And if you have three grant goals, you should see three. If you don't, please let us know. Strategies and outcomes that were reported in previous reporting periods were not transferred over into this semester reporting screen. This will not begin to pre-populate until after you have completed a round of reporting in this system. So don't be alarmed if you don't see strategies and outcomes. That is okay. The only thing that you have to do in this first screen, the reporting home screen, is update your goal status for each of the goals that you have. You'll click here in the drop down. We do have some new options available here to get more information on what each of these reporting options means. You'll notice throughout our system some little golden question marks. If I click on that, it will pop up an explanation to give a better idea of what each of those drop-down options means for my goal status. In particular, I wanted to note that there are now more options to select from in regards to your goal status. And this is to help us be able to really show incremental progress. None of these should be considered wrong or scary to select. If you're marking at risk, notice progress is being made, but you've encountered some significant risks or some significant barriers. That's okay. You're going to provide more information on that throughout your reporting process. So please select the grant goal status that most accurately reflects where you are with that goal at the end of this first fall semester. Also notice that we do have the establishing baseline still. That is typically used only in the first year of your project. However, if you feel that establishing baseline is the best option for one of your grant goals right now, and you are in a year other than year one of your project, that may be accurate, but we encourage you to reach out to your monitoring specialist to discuss that prior to completing your report. Now, once you've selected, I'm going to say that this one is in progress. I'm going to mark my next one. Let's see, maybe on track here. Let's see, now it is updated. I've completed my first screen. The whole first screen of my report is complete, and I'm going to hit next. Now I'm in the activities portion of the report. You're going to report the 3 most impactful activities for your grant this semester. It is subjective and up to you to determine what those 3 most impactful activities are that you're going to show here. Once you have started reporting and you're in further out reporting seasons, you will have the option and ability to roll previous activities over reporting period to reporting period. But as this is our first reporting season in this system, you will need to start fresh with this Add New Activity button. So you're going to click here, and it's going to give you a screen where you can add your new activity. So we're going to put in our grant activity. What goal does it apply to? Select whichever one. Notice that the strategy question is not required in this reporting period due to those strategies not rolling over into the system. So you don't have to select anything here because this is a demo account. I want you to know that's the only reason that there's one showing up here. So please do not let that worry you. I will be then selecting the populations reached by the activity. You can select multiple populations, whatever is applicable. Any of the others, when you click other, it will pop it open a text box to give more detail on what that other would be. Once you've selected all your various populations, then you will complete the estimated number reached by this activity. We'd like you to share what data source that you'll be using or did use to measure the effectiveness of this particular activity. And indicate the status of this activity. So again, you can review your status options here before then selecting that this one is potentially in progress. There is an optional question here at the bottom as far as highlighting any successes that you had in particular in regards to this activity during the reporting period, so during the fall semester. However, if you don't have any particular successes that you want to share from this reporting period, you can just mark it not applicable. The other thing I want to note, bigger. So you'll notice in the corner of any of these narrative boxes, there are these little lines. If I pull on any of those lines, the box can get as large as you need so that you don't have the issue of having to type blindly. So all of these will increase in size as needed. So now that I've completed all the pieces and parts about my activity, I'm going to hit Save Activity. And you'll see now back in my original activity screen, I've got my first activity listed out here. You can list up to 3 of your most impactful activities from the fall semester. If you don't have 3 that you can share, you have 2, that's fine, but you cannot share more than 3. You'll find that if you try to do more than 3, that Add New Activity button is going to gray out and not allow you to add any more. However, let's say you add 3, and then maybe you're in discussions as a team and you decide, that second activity I put in, I don't think that that's the one I want to share. There's actually this other one that I think might be a better fit. There is a delete button. You can remove one of the activities and sub it out for another. You have those options up until the time that you submit. So you can go in and make edits to it or delete the activity and select another one up to the 3 limit. The other piece and part that you will do on this activity page is to complete these 2 boxes. So briefly, in one sentence, state the greatest project success during this reporting period. So during the fall semester, overall, what was the greatest project success that you experienced? And we are asking you to keep it brief to 1 sentence because it's really that high point. So you'll pop that in. Only when you're on screen can you not type. Next, describe any planned changes to project activities for the next semester. So then as you look forward to this spring semester, from January 1 down through the end of June, what changes are you planning in regards to your project activities, if any? If you're not planning any changes, you can mark this as not applicable. You will need to actually type in NA because it is a required field because we want to make sure that everyone sees the question. But you can mark it not applicable. But If you have any plan changes, please detail these here. And then for this, you will need to hit the save button to indicate that you completed the 2 required questions. You'll see saved successfully right beside it in green. And then you can move to the next part of your report. Here in the next section, we're going to focus on challenges that you experienced during this reporting period. If you don't have any significant challenges to report, you can hit next. But also remember, it is not punitive or negative to have experienced implementation challenges. It's normal and it's okay. Sharing that with the grant team can help us better support you as grantees and all grantees. So again, similar to activities, you can input up to 3 significant challenges that you experienced during this fall semester season. So we'll hit add new challenge, very similar to how we did the activities. We'll come into this challenge screen and determine, okay, this particular challenge, was it applicable to a specific goal, or maybe it impacted both my goals? Depending upon what the challenge is, it could be both. So select the applicable goals, give a brief description. So write a brief description in sentences. I will say this is an area where in the past we've gotten a lot of 1 or 2 word responses is in the description. And it's really hard for us to truly understand your challenge with just 1 or 2 words. So give us a few more details here. Then select the challenge category. Which of these categories best describes your challenge? And you can select all that applies. So maybe it was an issue that you needed certain facilities and you didn't have the budget for it. So you feel like it's a budget and facility challenge. Whatever the appropriate categories are, including if none of the categories adequately describe your challenge, you can mark other challenges and specify in the box. The next question is regarding describing how that challenge was resolved or what you're currently doing to work toward resolving that challenge. If this was a challenge you experienced, but you already worked your way through it and the challenge has been solved, let us know how. You may have a wonderful idea or solution that never occurred to us or that could help other grantees. Or you may be in the thick of it. You may be trying to figure out a solution. You may be trying multiple things. Let us know that as well. So just give us a bit of explanation on your response strategy here. And next, the very final question, has this challenge been resolved? This is a drop-down box. You're just going to select ongoing or resolved. Either is okay, but you will need to select one before being able to save and continue. Oh. Oh, goodness. There we go. So you'll notice I tried to save. It will tell you if there are fields that you have missed, and it will not allow you to continue. If there's something that you want to change later, though, just like with activities, you can come back and change it. So I'm going to save. I've now done everything. So you'll see it. It let me go ahead and do that. It's populated it into my challenge table here. And I can continue adding new challenges up to 3 challenges. Again, with the option to edit and delete as needed until I feel like I've got my top 3 in there. After that, I can go ahead and scroll down to next. And I'm in the professional learning section of the report. So you'll see at the top, we have a little bit of explanatory material regarding the professional learning and what we would like included in this area. Similar to what you've seen in the other reporting areas, we'd like you to report up to 3 of the most impactful professional learning activities from the fall semester. There is some explanation here regarding cloning. You will not be able to clone until the next reporting season when there's something there to clone from. But you will have that option in the future. If for some reason there was no professional learning that occurred during that specific semester, you can go ahead and just put in the next or mark a specific field not applicable as we go through. But we'll hit add new professional learning and put in our first one. You'll see all of these operate very similarly to hopefully make this as easy as possible for you. So with your professional learning, was this particular professional learning event applicable to one goal, all of your goals? Select as many as apply. Give us the name of the professional learning. So whether that means that you were doing a mentoring program, or maybe you went to a really specific conference, whatever is the appropriate name for the professional learning event that you're describing. Give us a description. This is another one where we need a little bit more detail because not everyone's familiar with every conference, with every curriculum, with every type of instructional strategy. So give us a little more detail about what was entailed in this particular professional learning opportunity. Then you're going to select the category or categories that best describe that professional learning event. Again, you can select as many as are appropriate. And if you hit the other, you get that little detail box. You'll then select the participants for that event. Was it just for administrators, also for teachers, who all was participating, and the number of people that participated. You'll pop in that info. What's the frequency of this professional learning? Was this something that was a one-time session? Maybe you went to a one-time training or sent some teachers to a one-time training. Is it a multi-session series? Maybe it's something that's occurring on a monthly basis. Or is it ongoing or continuous? If you're engaging in like an ongoing mentoring program or ongoing coaching program, that's where you would select that ongoing continuous piece. With any of these, if you get stuck and you're thinking, I'm not sure which one is the most appropriate answer within any parts of the report, always know that you can reach out to the help desk and we're here to help you with that. We can help you figure out what might be the most appropriate response if you're just not quite sure from the available answer choices. What is the primary format of this professional learning? You'll notice we have another little pop-up here to give you more description of what these different types of formats might entail to help you make the best selection. And you can only select one format because you'll notice the question is what is the primary format? It might be something that was a multifaceted professional learning opportunity, and therefore you had a couple of different things, but what was that main format? So we'll click one. Who delivered the professional learning? Was it your internal staff, external consultants, or both? Only one option here as well. And is there any other information to share about how the professional learning was delivered? This is a required question, so if you don't have any other information to share, you'll just mark not applicable. How has or will professional learning impact the program? Go ahead and use that pop-up if you want to see a bit more about what we mean by impact before answering this particular question. We'll pop in that. Remember, I can glide that box open to be able to provide a more robust response. How is implementation of this professional learning being monitored? So how are you looking at impact as many as applicable? And then provide a description of how this is where you're going to give the details. So maybe you selected, I'm going to close these. Maybe I just selected narrative summary. Then here I would detail what I mean by narrative summary. Like, what does that look like for you in your program? Once I have completed all of these fields for my professional learning event or opportunity, I'm going to hit save. Oh, I'm going to complete my other category. Try again. And now you'll see my professional learning is right here in my table. So again, you can use that add new to add up to 3 of your most impactful professional learning activities with the options again for edit and delete. This is another one that does have 2 little questions down at the bottom before you can complete. That's why I think, for me at least, it's really helpful to use the previous and next buttons to encourage me to scroll to the bottom of each screen. So describe any challenges specifically related to professional learning this semester. So did you encounter any barriers to your professional learning, any challenges, any hiccups? Share that with us here, as well as any particular professional learning successes from this semester. If you didn't have either of them, again, you can mark, you know what, I didn't have any challenges with professional learning, but I did have lots of successes, or maybe vice versa, depending upon how your fall went. Then you'll hit save. You'll see summary updated, and I can hit that next button. We're now nearing the end of our fall semester report. We're now at that optional document upload area. If you have no documents to add to your report, that's okay. You can come down and hit next. If you do have some things that you would like to add, this is where you can do that. Notice we have some examples of things that people might have in the past chosen to upload. You'll just hit add document. You do have to give a title to your document. Please make this a descriptive title for someone who has no idea what your file is about. Do not include emojis, pictures, or any other graphic icons. Just a nice descriptive title. So, for instance, maybe I'm going to put Program Overview PowerPoint. Nice and clear what it is I'm talking about. And then I would also encourage you to label it with your grantee. So my grantee is the demo grantee from fiscal year 24. That also is helpful because then if we're looking at attachments and they're no longer right here in your report, we know who they belong to. And then you can choose your file. It will open up and you can pick whatever you need. I will just attach a random document. You'll see now it says document uploaded. I can see my document here and I can choose to add additional documents or click next. We are now at the final screen of your fall semester report. At this point, I would encourage you to use your left navigation menu to go back through each screen of your report to ensure that you have reported what you intended to report in each of these different fields. Once you feel confident in your report, go back to that submission screen, and there is a green Submit Report button. You'll hit Submit Report, And you'll see I got report successfully marked as submitted. You're all done. You've completed your fall semester report. Now, there is one more thing that I like to do just to make sure that everything is golden and I've met my reporting deadline. I like to then hit this reporting home button, takes me back to my main reporting dashboard where I can open up semester reporting again, navigate to my current grantee, and check that it says submitted here as well. So you'll see I've got my fall report for my demo grant program, and it says it was submitted successfully. This also gives you the opportunity to go back and view or print. I do encourage all grantees to print to PDF, and whether you do a hard copy file or a digital file, whatever your process is, it's always great to keep records of your report submissions as well locally. Sure, it really took in my report and I met my reporting deadline. Now I'm going to navigate back out of the new eTax site over to our PowerPoint to wrap up with a few last tips and resources that we have for you. So as we wrap today, I'm popping back up our helpful tips slide. Remember, start early, start today. At minimum, I want you today to go and make sure that you can log into the eTax site and you can see all the grants that you're associated with in that reporting area. Remember to write in complete sentences, spelling out those acronyms so that we can read the story of your program in robust detail. Be transparent about what's going on in your program so that we could best support you on your implementation journey. And keep in mind that audience of course, it's wonderful to write to those of us who know about your program and are cheering you on regularly, but you want to make sure that anyone who picks up your report can read and understand what's going on as well. We do have a few additional resources all throughout this month, as well as available online to assist you as you are completing your report. You can reach out to us at the eTac anytime at our support email address, as well as our support line. Those are monitored live between 9 and 3 Eastern. Doesn't mean you might not ever get a response before or after those times, as we have team members in many different time zones, but we guarantee to be live with you during that window of time each day, Monday through Friday. You can also reach out to the DoDEA program team at the dodea.grants@dodea.edu email address, or directly to your monitoring specialist at any time. We will put this recording that you're watching along with the user guide that walks you step by step through the reporting process and lots of other great resources up in the Learn portion of the website for you to access at any time and to share with anybody else on your team. You also have your region lead who always stands ready to assist you with reporting as well. And then finally, we're going to be holding 2 more live events in the month of January. On January 14th at 1 Eastern and on January 28th at 1 Eastern, we will hold what we call our reporting office hours. I'll be on live with you. You can hop in at any point during that hour between 1 and 2 Eastern. It is a casual come and go event. If you have another meeting and you can't join us till 1:30, no worries. Jump in when you can, but it gives you an opportunity to access us in person. We can answer your questions, we can brainstorm with you, and really take the time to make sure that you feel all set to complete your report. So that's January 14th and January 28th. You should have gotten links to those in the latest email that came out from the ETAC, but you can also get the information on the new ETAC website in the community area. We have all of our events listed there as well, or you can reach out to the help desk and we're happy to help get you the links that way. Finally, I just want to remind you again that we're here to help you. We're happy to talk with you on the phone, on email, in the chat. We're happy to set up times to actually meet with you. We can walk through and do coaching sessions, whatever's going to set you up for success with reporting this season. And ensure that you meet the reporting deadline of Saturday, January 31st, 2026 by 11:59 p.m. Eastern. So everybody mark that in your calendars, set the calendar reminder, set the alarm, but also just turn it in early. Let's just aim for like the 29th, and then you can rest easy and have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing all of you on office hours throughout the month and talking with you potentially on the help desk. Please let us know if you have any questions and how we can help you have the best reporting season possible. Happy reporting!